Hey guys, how you doing? It's Henry at Mowers and Blowers. Good morning. New York weather, really crazy. 65 one day, 38 the next. Crazy. Some nut is interested in this time of year. Now look, I had this thing listed for like $150 before last winter started. Nobody bid on it. I figured $150 is way too much money for this piece of junk, you know what I mean? But it works, you know? Good for clearing small driveways and stuff, you know? Residential, of course. So then when winter went around and nobody wanted it, right? I lowered it to $100, right? Honestly, I'd be happy to get rid of this for $50, you know what I mean? I have sold these things for $50. Being it's the spring now, some guy wants to look at it, so he offered me $50, and I'm like, $50 just to get rid of it? I should have taken it, you know. But then I wanted to be a little bit more aggressive, so I said 85. Then he went to 60, and I says 75. That's it. So he says, okay, I'll see you tomorrow. I'm like, yeah, sure, see you tomorrow. Look, if I can squeeze $50 out of this today, great. He's the kind of guy where you feel like he's all talk, no action. A flake, you know what I mean? Nevertheless, you gotta take the chance, right? So I dragged this out of my shed, you know. Has no gas in it because I winterized it for the winter storage. But I figured if I put it in there, I'm gonna have to winterize it again because summer's coming, you know what I mean? But I figured this is a 2-stroke, right? And I'll put some True Fuel in here. True Fuel is non-ethanol, which means that if you pour it in here, the guy doesn't buy it, I can just store it again, no big deal. It won't gum up into the ethanol stuff, you know? So it should be okay. So I'm gonna put a little bit of gas in here just to see if it starts. And if this guy buys it, he buys it. If he doesn't, I'll just store it, you know? You don't have to drain the gas because it's non-ethanol. This stuff is great. I would only do this with a 2-stroke. They do make 4 strokes in this type of machine. It doesn't look exactly like it. It's usually the green one that's more squarish, bulkier. Anyway, that one's a 4-stroke, and you definitely have to get the gas out of there before you store it for the summer, because it'll definitely gum up. So I'm just gonna pour, I don't know, as long as I can see it. Oh, I can see it really well. I think I poured too much actually. But you know, whatever. If this works next winter, it'll be fine. And I think it will, because like I said, no ethanol, so no gumming up, you know? That's why I love this stuff. Let's give this thing a couple of primes. I think I feel the gas. I can hear the gas bubbling up and going into the carburetor. This also has electric start too, so it's not that shabby. Let's give her a couple of pulls. No cutting. On off key. Almost. Go. Works just fine. However, the thing still engages even when I let go of the handle. I think maybe the cable needs some adjustment, but you know what? I'm not going to bother doing that. Well, maybe I will. It's really easy to do, actually. So you see this, the cable? It's kind of tight, which is why it's kind of holding it. So you just lift this up like that. Take this Z-bend out like this, and we'll move it another hole. We'll take it back one hole. See if that does the trick. See, now it's not that tight. So when we start it up, it's still moving by itself. So I have to loosen this a little bit more. I think I did mess with this. I'll move it 2 holes so it dangles. Shouldn't be putting any pressure on there at all, see? You know what? I believe I put a new belt on here because it needs to be a little bit more looser on the belt. So because it's a new belt, it's kind of stiff is all. So I figured out what was wrong. I took this cover off, and if you could see, the belt is looped to the right. This has grooves in it which line up to the grooves here, and if the grooves are shifted to the right, it's going to put more tension on the belt, and it'll grip the outer part of this wheel rather than the inner grooves. I just got to move this to the inner part. Moved it to the middle part now, see? But now it looks like it's really loose, you know? When I engage the bail handle, it does that. Let's try it. When I had it on an incline, I think it flooded. Try the electric start. So that was it. The belt moved, so it didn't match up in the middle here with the grooves, that's all. So, seems to be good now. Okay. We tested the electric start, it works. What the hell? Started up really easily. that's how you fix a snowblower where the auger is always engaged and it doesn't disengage. Chances are the belt has moved to the right or to the left of the grooves, and it's sitting over the entire pulley, which causes more tension on the belt. When you move it back into the slots where it's supposed to be in and in the grooves perfectly, it gives you that 1/4 inch of less slack on the belt. So now it engages and disengages with the auger handle. Real quick fix. Kind of a pain to take the panels off, but hopefully I'll get this sold for at least 50 bucks today. Hopefully the 75. So as usual, flakes will be flakes. Guy never showed up, never called me, we never met, never set a time to meet. Day goes by, forget about it. I'm not going to try to record it. I was holding on to that video so that you guys could see the transaction, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. However, today, another guy, some nut, wants to see this. And of course, it is the one all the way in the back of the garage. So I have to take all my lawnmowers out just to get to this thing, you know? I think it runs. It's a primer bulb kind, which I hate. But I have this listed for $140. And if I can get $140, that'd be good. $140 actually is pretty cheap. It's okay. It's a push mower with a bagger, you know what I mean? And I believe it runs fine. Those RPMs are really high though. I might have to check that out. Well, I'm always checking RPMs these days, you know. Let's take this top cover off. You should be able to see everything. Usually you can bend this backwards a little bit, but I do remember that this thing is a little sticky is all. So it's just bending this thing a little bit so that the tension is lower on the throttle. Let's try it now. Now it seems kind of low. I'll adjust it. Actually, did you guys see something? I was watching that clip of the video and it looked like this part was moving, you know? The entire part of the carburetor was moving like this, see? If this part is moving, it means that something is loose in there. Maybe the carburetor is not attached to the engine block properly, or the intake manifold is loose from the engine block, which would cause a lot of vacuum air, which would cause this to RPM too high. So I'm going to take this whole thing apart anyway, just to figure it out. I'm curious. Taking that cover off, took the 3 bolts off of the thing. Well, it seems okay, but it seemed like it was moving before, didn't it? Yeah, so the bottom bolt over here needed to be tightened a little bit. So it's on there now. That's perfect. It's a little adjustment, and this is good to go. If I sell it, great. If I don't sell it, what are you gonna do, right? Can't force somebody to buy something. But it's been a nice day. Thanks all for joining me on today's episode. Tuning up stuff that I could sell, you know what I mean? Like that damn snowblower, man. Would I love to get rid of that piece of... Here at Mowers and Blowers, we push them into the garage, but they come out driving.
Nice right across yard maintenance, and you're watching Mowers and Blowers, the best damn small engines channel on YouTube.
Hey, if you guys enjoyed the video, remember to give me a like. Also, comment below. Subscribe. Remember, it doesn't cost anything to subscribe. It's free, right? Also, hit that little bell. That way you'll get post notifications whenever there's a new video, and you won't miss out on any of them. Remember to follow my Instagram and Facebook, as well as if you'd like to donate $1 or $2, paypal.me/mowersandblowers. Really appreciate all the support. Also, to keep the videos coming every day, support the channel. Bye.